Mic test. What's going on, yo? Happy hump day. Let me double check my mic. Is it working good? Oh, yeah. Looks pretty dang good. Oh, all right. Oh, what's cracking? It's no noise time. I am Z Rex. It's the 25th day of October. Halloween's just around the corner. One of my favorite times of the year. It's about quarter to 11. And it's time to look at some price action. We got plenty of it, getting that range break that we've been looking for this quarter. So that's nice to see, especially since it's to the upside. I know everybody likes to see that mo better, except for them bears, the burrs. Anyway, let's get right into it and start with the dominance, because I do think it is noteworthy that Bitcoin's dominance is freaking ripping face. And I was looking at this the other day. Now, we're very far away from any kind of major tops or new highs or anything like that. But I was looking at this about 69% horizontal I have, and it's kind of crazy. This is actually all where the market stalled out and was really close to the top. So in the future, at some point, let's keep an eye on this, and maybe when we start getting into the 60s, we can start being like, "Ooh, man, maybe the rally is getting a little bit close to the end." Again, like I said, that's very far away right now, because we are still low 30s or mid 30s, but just kind of some food for thought. And this is showing that Bitcoin is really getting strong. And I mean, obviously, it's kind of been beating Ethereum and everybody else. So very nice to see the Bitcoin Dom show its head there. Very nice. Anyway, let's go to basic price action, because that gives us the best idea of kind of what the market's doing. And we're going to start with the weekly. And I did make a chart the last couple of days I'm going to share with y'all here in a second with some DMI and some notes. So we'll get into that in just momentarily. Let's see here. Let's go to the daily. Very nice. Getting some continuation. See if we can get over this 35,000 level. You're probably wondering where the next kind of resistance location would be in this chart setup. And I'm guessing around about 38,000 will be the first kind of major resistance. And then it'll be like low 40s. I imagine 42,000, just because it's a meme number, will get a little bit of attention. But technically speaking, it's not really up until about 44, 45K. And then ultimately, you already know that 48,000 is the pivot point that we were looking for back over here when the market was at all-time highs. And if y'all recall from the videos back earlier in the year and late last year, that whenever it did break 48,000, that was my cue to sell everything crypto that I owned, which we did do. You can go watch those videos if you want to check it out or whatever, or believe me or not, don't really care, but it is what it is. It is all on YouTube. That's before I started doing them mostly on TradingView, but they do get automatically uploaded and streamed to YouTube via in the background for TradingView. Anyway, I digress. So 38 is about the next spot, with 42 just being a little bit of meme power, but really it's that kind of mid 40s area that should provide the next major resistance point past 38. So other than that, if we just keep building this chart above 31,000, we already know previous resistance becomes the new support. So as long as we're building the chart above that, this will look good. Now, as I was talking about on Monday, the thing that I was kind of a little concerned about did end up coming through. This is straight vertical. That is the only issue I kind of have with this. But as far as like, what's the word I'm looking for? Lost for words at the moment. But anyway, it's straight vertical. I wish it was a little bit more melodic and up and to the right here, like 45 degree in or something like that. But regardless, it did get above 31.5. And as long as the chart keeps building above there, there's no reason to think that the bulls are not back in town, if you will. Nice weekly, too. This is going to be pretty much an open and close above all this consolidation if it does close above like 31.5 on the weekly, which is 4 days away. I do believe we have the Fed meeting next week. So I know that's everybody's coolest favorite thing. Oh, give me 1 second. I actually need to take off a trade real quick. Give me 1 sec here. Oil. Do I want to take this off? Ooh, yeah, right up there to the... yeah, we're going to take that off. I've nibbled on some oil futures last night. Let's see here. Just bear with me, doing some live trading. Yeah, I nibbled some of the futures early this morning, actually, really. And looks like... Let's see. I do kind of like that. I like that. Maybe we're going to hold on to this and see what's up. Let's see if it can hold this area right here. All right. Just give me 1 sec there. Measure that. All right. Going back to Mama Bear. So Mama Bear, as long as it's building above this 31K area, let's go. Futures, also agreeing with that. And you can see there is 34,000 is a resistance line I have on here at the red line. I'm not sure. Sometimes I draw stuff and I forget because it's been on there so long, you know. Is that like a Fibonacci maybe? I don't think so. No, I'm not 100% sure why I wrote that on there, but if I wrote it on there, it's important. And so that's interesting that it is right here on the futures specifically, almost exactly where we are now. So I would not be surprised to see a little bit of stalling here and see if we can get price acceptance over the next week or two. That would look really good. Gap filled and beyond, and also making another gap on this guy right here. Just launching past it. Beautiful, beautiful move. Mega resistance at about $30 on this guy. But just like Bitcoin, as long as it's building above, that formation looks good. Nice to see Ethereum outside of this box too. Lovely, lovely move. And y'all know we've been expecting some kind of move off of this 5 prints in a row on the historical volatility, which I don't think I've ever seen on any tradable. Now, what's funny is it still looks pretty tight on the weekly. I'm still expecting range break on this for the year. Yeah, we have low time frame range break. That's nice. But I'm looking for higher time frame range break, which would be probably 2K or 1550 by this end of this quarter. But overall, on the shorter term macro above mid 1700s looks really good. Let's see here. And I know everyone's getting excited too. That is one thing that is a little concerning. Everybody's already like, oh my God. I mean, I was just watching a random stream that has nothing to do with crypto, and someone like super chatted in and was like, Bitcoin's above 34K. Let's go. And so I was just like, oh my God, that was quick. I didn't even give him 5 seconds to get into it. It's like one day doesn't make a trend change. Remember that. We do have a little nasty doji candle right here at the top of this business. Not my favorite setup for Charlie's Litecoin. Now, does it look pretty good? Just when you look at this immediate pump off the structure and this local high, yeah, it does look pretty good above about 67 handle. But look where it is. It's even right with this local high on a doji. So a little bit of indecision, even though it did stretch up to the top end of the horizontal. This is a pretty precarious place for trade entries, in my opinion, around $69, because you are right in the middle of all of this business here and this consolidation. So a little bit tougher of a chart on Charlie's. Really just watching Mama Bear and Ethereum to see if we're going to get follow through. Now, Litecoin does like to kind of, I think it led, I don't know if it led the market, but I think back in this pump before here, it did really good and was kind of giving a little signal. Maybe if we start getting comfy above 73, we can really look for some bullish price action. Yeah, kind of same charts as Litecoins, just lollygagging, making equal highs, and off of another doji as well in the 200. So definitely bulls running into some resistance there. We're probably going to see this across the board. Yeah, here's another one. Although XRPs looks a lot better. See how we're above all these bodies? That is way more better. So this is actually pretty damn bullish. Actually, this is very bullish above 53 off this consolidation. You've got all the EMAs stacked right here. And another few days above 54. This will be a chronological cross. We get the chrono cross, which we love to see. And again, the major resistance is 58, but this setup is very nice. Any low time frame candles above 58 cents, we probably are getting to 64. XLM, another little doji bullshit. Another few days up here, maybe it can get the chrono cross, but you can see that the 55 orange is a little bit, it's going to take a little bit more work on the upside to negate that. And it is not higher than any of its summer highs. I mean, it actually still has quite a ways to run on that one. Tron is working its way up to 10 pennies. So 10 pennies, this little blue box up here. This has been our target for a little while. So blue box is 10 to 14 cents. So mega resistance at 10, just because 10 cents, nice little round number for, excuse me, nice little round number that it hasn't been to in, oh man, what, since the bull run? Yeah, since way back over here. Looking good. This one's been looking very sexy for a long time. Look at this beautiful just sine wave up and to the right, not too aggressive. I am expecting this to pop pretty hard as long as Bitcoin stays above like 32. This probably is going to take a moonshot to 10 to... Oh, man, let's do a little fib extension real quick here. And I'm going to do it off of, whoops, I'm going to just do it off this little recent consolidation. Okay, so 10. Yeah, so let's just split it here in the middle of this box with this local high. I could easily see a little moonshot attempt to about 12 cents. Bulls were really crazy. They might be able to tap 14, but I would expect a quick rejection there on a wick for sure. All right, DOT. Oh, is it actually going to do something? It doesn't look like it. No, I mean, to be fair, it did rally pretty good. Right around 420. Trying to make some higher highs. Hey, it's above the orange line, so that's good, which is the 55 EMA. So that's very nice. As long as we're consolidating above about $4, Not too shabby, but still very much in a downtrend. Some of these just kind of look shitty like that. Man, beautiful pump on ADA. We're out of the box. This looks good above 27 flat. No problems there. It does have pretty good resistance at 30. So kind of in a little bit of a tight squeeze, if you will. So between 27 and about 30, 31 is kind of looks like the new range for now. Link has just been ripping face, y'all. What's up, Casey Lewis? How you doing? I mean, this beautiful formation. We were talking about this on last week. Very awesome. I love this. Looks very good above 930. Ain't no problems with this, especially if we can get this weekly open and close above all this consolidation, which has been for about 2 years, y'all. This is a big change in behavior. The worst case scenario out of this now is a false breakout. And so if we actually, over the next couple weeks or so, like actually gave all this up and went back in the blue box, that would look real shitty. And I would be expecting some pretty much a test of the other side of range. But now that's not happening. We're not seeing that. I'm just kind of, setting the table, if you will. If we do start to see breaks back below 9, I would consider this to be a false breakout. EOS is trying to pump it, but kind of a shittier looking chart. I mean, it can't even get over this local high here. What kind of trash is that? BCH is still looking pretty good. Oh, nice chrono cross. I really like this right here. Beautiful chart. Above 240, 235. This looks really good. Very sexy. BSV, it already kind of had a super pump, so it's just taking a little breather. But it looks very nice above all these bodies in this last attempt, and the 55 all line up at about $44. So as long as it's above 44 short term, it does still look pretty bullish. XMR, not the best candle setup. This is even though it looks green, this is actually a down candle engulfing this one, barely sitting on 157. So that's kind of a little bit concerning. Almost have the chrono cross. I mean, it is a higher high, so I just thought we'd get a little bit more follow through. This candle is just what kind of sucks about it, engulfing this previous one. So looks like, let's go to the weekly real fast. Hold up. Yeah, you got the weekly 200 right there too. Yeah, this is a tough one. So, upper 150s is no joke. As long as we're above that that's a tough one. It's pretty much like 154 to like 158. As long as we're kind of above that region, it's okay. Nothing too crazy, but don't really like that candle close yesterday. ZEC, let's go. Man, I almost bought some of this yesterday. I probably should have. We talked about this on Monday. If Bitcoin was getting comfy over 31.5, 32,000, that a lot of these shit coins are just going to have little pumps. So that has been happening around the board. Hopefully y'all caught some of those because it just becomes a pretty easy trade when Mama Bear leads like that, especially with the dominance high. When you see that kind of situation, usually Bitcoin will rally harder, and it takes a little bit longer for the alts to get the party going. And also, to be fair, we've been in a bear market for a really long time. So, everyone's still trying to wake up. There might be some disbelief that this could be even a real rally, stuff like that. Dash is still ping-ponging like a mofo. A lot of kind of doji indecision candles yesterday's close. So that's a little concerning. Yeah, here's another one. Hot damn. Right around the devil's number. Man, come on, Doji. Let's get above 666. Let's stay above it. Really want to see this creep up into the 7s. That would look very sexy longer term. Let's see. Yeah, right at the 21. So, yeah, 666s. You already know that number has been the pivot point for a hot minute. STX also taking a little bit of a breather. Not quite at the chrono cross. Let's go to the weekly. Oh, I really like this weekly candle last week. I would lean pretty bullish on this above about 58 to 60 cents. Looks pretty damn sexy. True Coin, nice little false breakdown. We're testing the other side of range already. Obviously, man, a lot of the 200 MAs on the daily are right up against price right now on a lot of the altcoins. So if I say right one more time, that will help me get my point across, I bet. Anyway, really need to see this get over 4 pennies. It's kind of like, while it is semi bullish just because the overall market with Mama Bear looks good, if you looked at this by itself, it's still consolidating with not, conviction to the upside quite yet. XRD looking pretty sexy, bouncing beautifully off the 786,886 retracement zone. Very standard. We talk about that all the time on the show. Beautiful, beautiful setup here. Can't hate on this until it gets back below like 4.4 cents. V-Chain's above 1.8. That's pretty sexy. Trying to get above its 200. Our bull's going to be able to punch through this. Only time will tell. We'll probably know by the weekend, though, if I had to guess. If they do punch through, we're probably looking at a 2-2 shot on V-Chain. Is Atom finally going up? Kind of. This is where it fails, though. Let's see. We do have very good DMI dominance, though, on this run. And some decent volume, better than we've seen in a hot minute. I just don't like these closes yesterday on a lot of these shit coins. Very indecisive. Let's get some girthy candles to the upside to negate those dojis. Osmos finally bouncing a little bit here. Almost got a green candle. If this thing does flip green right here, above about a quarter, 25 cents, you could argue that's a pretty good spot for entries to target of about 30 to 33 pennies. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, the weekly 21's actually all the way at 40. So, man, Osmos could have a pretty big short squeeze coming up. Ton, very nice. I love this setup right here. Fake dump fest. Closed above here like we talked about Monday, engulfed. Now we're getting 3 open and closes so far above this $2 range. This looks very good above $2. Matic is still pumping. Let's go, baby. We were talking about this one on Monday. I think even, did we talk about it Friday? I don't know if we did. I don't remember. Very lovely, though. Coming up on the resistance at about 69, because we just have to use 69, because you know what it is. Very nice. All right. Let's go to ES. SpaghettiOs. This isn't good. We are getting rejected at the 200. Man, that is not sexy at all. This weekly open and close below the 55, if that were to happen, I would be looking probably for a pretty deep retrace to about 3,900. Then that's our next kind of contention point. But looking pretty nasty, y'all, on the majors. Below 42.50 pretty much is garbage mode. You already know below 15K is garbage mode on NASDAQs. Been that way for a hot minute. Came right up to our horizontal, and we're getting rejected. Kind of looks like this wants to come test the trend line down here. Dow is still holding on, surprisingly. Wow. That's kind of interesting. Okay. A little perplexed by that. Still in the H pattern is intact. Maybe this is going to fill it out. I don't know. We are kind of deep in the hole. Lots of sell-offs already happened. Everyone's bearish pretty much. I mean, in traditional markets, not so much crypto, but I mean, at least people that I'm talking to seems to be very, very bearish biased at the moment. So it wouldn't be that hard to do a little surprise rip your face rally. And, if they start backing off the rate hikes, I mean, I don't know if y'all have traded long enough and y'all seen melt-ups happen. Like, sometimes those are, like, crashing up can happen, especially with how they print money just all over the place, just bukkake and money everywhere. It's a thing, crashing up. I know it sounds crazy, but if they start backing off rates for whatever reason, labor comes, unemployment goes up, whatever the reasons they want to give, doesn't really matter to me. That could be the scenario we go into, and that could be pretty brutal, man. Well, face rippers. Oof, look at this. Russell says, I'm dying, y'all. All the way deep, deep retraces here. Now, there is some good support in the mid 1600s right here. No doubt. Let's go to the weekly so it's a little bit cleaner. There is really good support right here, technically, because you can see all this business. Boom, bam, boom. And here we are again. So I bet if we pull up the let's pull it up. Yeah, look at that. Right pretty much in the middle of all this. A little bit lower at about 16 flat, slightly below. There is a little bit of a gap. So you can see 1650 is definitely kind of the short term support level. If it loses 1650, we're probably going to like 16 flat and then we'll have to reassess. But I am very much thinking about longing some Russell around these levels because look at these snaps off this, man. And it doesn't give you any time. It's like a couple of days, 2-3 days down here, sometimes intraday, and it snaps all the way up. So I'm going to be kind of watching this chart right now on the crack time frames to see if we can get us a good little entry. And I'm almost tempted just to buy some right now because, 10 points on, that's nothing, like whatever. Especially when you're looking for a snap on this. Look how far away it is just from the 8 simple, this Cheyenne line. Look how far away that is. It's freaking damn 55 points away. That's a little crazy. All right, Dow, the trannies, what are they doing? Woo! Damn. Also in that deep retrace zone too, just getting very nasty. You know what? What is the fear and greed index right now? I'm curious. Let's go look. It is probably pretty low. Fear. We're not extreme. Uh-oh. We haven't hit extreme fear yet. Junk bond demand is extreme greed. Okay, well that makes sense. All right. Well, this is interesting. Open and close below this would be pretty shitty. But again, we are getting to those deep retraces. So I'm expecting a relief rally, especially since we have the Fed next week. There is something called the Fed drift. And generally, markets kind of stall from selling off and drift ever so slightly to the upside up into the meeting. So that's something to maybe be on the lookout for. Might be a trade. And I'm kind of liking this little setup here. I think, let me see. Let me go to I'm just going over to my brokerage on the other screen real fast. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to nibble. We're just going to nibble like a contract here and see what's up. We're just going to do that. Just get a little nibbly nibskis, Just a little nibby nibskis. All right. Let me go put an alert on here too, because if this breaks on these shorter time frames, I even want to see if it just breaks 55. All right, crossing down. Well, maybe down. There we go. All right. Let's see. Moving on. VIX. We are still kind of high on the VIX, right? So that is a little bit concerning. VVIX is over 100, so that's a little bit concerning. It also has a very sexy chrono cross, so we could definitely get a nasty spike and liquidation move to the downside. That's definitely in the cards. But, I like to just read straight charts. So right now the charts are in deep retraces. So, it's already had huge bearish moves. What is this? It's down 16%, y'all, in the last like 2.5 months. So, it's pretty much been every day it's been selling off. So can't sell off and go down forever. You got to have relief rallies and make a sine wave at some point. But yeah, a little concerning though still that the VIX is above 100. I'll get more aggressive on some long positioning if we can just get an open and close below 100. Oil, nice pumpage here. We just talked about that briefly earlier, that it's just kind of looking good. Hopefully we're not getting any more stupid developments over, where, over in the other side of the worlds. Rallied right up to the 21. We'll see if this is about to get a little serial. We probably are at a 786 retrace here, are we? Are we? Let's see. Are we? Yeah, we are. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so this is actually kind of a good spot. Actually, I'm going to hold my long here until we break like 84.20-ish, I think, will kind of be my stop out because I'm in from down over here, so this morning. Anyway, Nat Gas. Oh, look at Nat Gas pumping off of that dang old spot of about 290s. Very nice. This thing gets a little bit higher, above like 305. It's probably going back to 330. There could be a good trade in there. We've been eyeballing that one. Bond selling off again. Uh-oh. So does that mean TNX is back up close to 5? Yup. How about Dixie? Means it's rallying. Yeah, ooh, nice candle structure for the Bulls right here on Monday, Tuesday. That is very nice defense of 105. That is very much implying that 105.5 has been confirmed as mega support. Anything below that, we could probably look for a really strong rally in bonds and the market in general. Gold, what's up, Gold? What are you doing? Sort of flagging out. Kind of looks like it wants to get above 2,000, doesn't it? Don't it? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a little vertical, but nonetheless, above this like 1650s area looks pretty good. Silver kind of struggling, spaghettiing out on all the EMAs here, looking a little sloppy. I mean, look at where all the EMAs though are on the weekly. We are within like less than $1. That does not happen on silver very often. The last time that was back over here in June and around the COVID crap. So pretty interesting. Slight bullish bias above 2250. If we lose 2250 again, it's probably not going to be very good for silver. Platinum continuing to bounce after getting back over 900. You already know that's the level. Palladium can't do shit. Still below 1200. Garbage. GDX and just kind of lollygagging in this very long sideways range. All right, let's go to what did I want to look at? Oh, look at this, y'all. We talked about reefer. Man, what a lovely pump off of this horizontal. Is this signaling that we're about to see some type of news or something follow through from this HHS news? I don't know. Maybe if it keeps staying above 50 cents, I would say yes, this is true. Now, this doesn't look good. This kind of looks bad here. Off of the all the whatchamacallit, the god dang words, bro. The ETF, yeah, this does look a little bit bad below $3. We were kind of looking at this, so this one looks like it's getting testy for sure. But Tilray and some of the individuals are bouncing very nicely off of critical zones there. All right, let's go look at some of these things that Casey Lewis put in. And again, Casey, a lot of these look short. See this? I'm real cautious with shorts right now just because we've already sold off like so high. So I'm probably going to be a little bit biased to these. Yeah, like this one is real nasty. I would not want to short down here because really this, for me, this is already, you already missed the short opportunity on this. When it broke these lows on this gap, this was more of the entries around here. When you're way down here, man, that's a little risky. Just a little risky. It looks like you might have already hit your target though. Oh no, you're looking for 33. 37, so you're in the money a little bit. Let's see. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, and look, there's a lot of support right here too. 33. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on. I need to go do a little management here. Give me 1 second. I just got the alert. So we got to take it. All right, let's get out of there. All right, took the profits on oil. Moving on. Yeah, man, I can't short this one. This is way too far in the hole for me. Yeah, this is deep retrace, man. So, and 33 is like below all of this business. It's even right at the bottom of this magenta candle that you probably can't see. So, a little bit of aggressive action there for me personally. If it got back down to that close to 35, I'd probably take it off if it was my trade. PSA. Let's give us a PSA announcement. What do we got here? Yeah, see, look, a lot of these charts are looking like this. They're in the, 2020 in the late teens of support areas. Even indexes are like that. So we're starting to get into that. Yeah, it could keep selling off, but this is where freaking crazy snapbacks happen. So I don't like to be short, like real deep in the hole. I like to be short more like right when it breaks, but that's just personal preference. 240 and 247 to 233. Well, you almost got what is your stop? Is 247. Yeah, that's fine on the stop there. And you're almost there at your target. Another $5 more, and you got it. Now, that's a decent target because it's right on top of all this business. Now, that could get front run, So for me personally, if it got another like dollar to $3 down, I'd probably take it off because I mean that's not really that much more percent. I mean you've technically already got like a good amount of it. Like if we go to 33, yeah, look at that. It's only like 2 more percent. So to each his own, but it's getting a little close. NSA, oh man, more death. Yeah, look, more support areas. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. I just can't be shorting all this stuff. I'm not comfortable shorting like all these things when we're so far in the hole. So these are really tough trades for me to take. NSA 28 with 30. I mean, I like that stop loss. That's right here at this little local area, and you're targeting like 26. Yeah, you're close. You're close. Just another couple more bucks or something. But again, if you look left, man, there's a lot of support over here, and you're in this magenta candle already, and the bottom of it is 26. About 40 cents away from your target. I don't know. That's a little deep. I don't know if you ever ratchet your stops down, like once you're like in profit, or if you just kind of let it ride. People kind of split on that. Say it's like 50-50. Sometimes I like to ratchet it up or down depending on kind of the market. And in this market particularly, I do like to kind of lock in some profits because it's been so ping-pongy and a little bit emotional that I feel like it's better to take your money and run when the market when Mr. Market gives it to you. Is that Dar? Oh, that's Darling. Oh, you brought this one up the other day. I think this is a good setup. Yeah, very nice. This bitch is just free falling. Earnings coming up. I would definitely not hold any of these into earnings because if they get any kind of glimpse of goodness, this bitch could snap rally really hard. The last time we had that happen, it snapped to the upside about 9%. So, just some food for thought, especially if you're in most of the money on your trade, which I think you're all pretty close on this one, aren't you? Target of 20. Oh, no, wait. I thought you entered in on this one earlier. I guess not. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I like this setup. We talked about this one on the last stream, I think. I don't have any problems with it. You're getting pretty good. And the next really spot is about where your target is. So, this is one of the better shorts that you've listed. What is A? Oh, that's not Alcoa. That's AA. Allegiant or Agilent Technologies. Very much downtrending. Kind of getting a little gappy go here. Let's see. What's your setup? 109. Oh, that's your stop. Sorry. 104, 109 stop. Yeah, I like the 109 stop. 104. Looking for 97. Oh, let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, that's not bad. I can get behind that one. It's kind of like Dar's chart a lot, actually. Lumen. Yeah, see these little island reversal type candles printing today? If these start printing like this, I would be a little bit cautious of holding too long because these are implying some exhaustion to the selling pressure when you see candles like that. And let's go zoom back out. Oh man, this thing is deep. Yeah, see, look how deep in the hole this is. Breaking actually this local low at 121. Is that where your stop is? Because that would be a good spot. Oh, it's even a little bit lower. Yeah, I'm not against that trade either. And it looks like you actually probably already got filled on it, didn't you? The low was 110. Yeah, you already hit that one. So I'm not sure why you put that one on there. But nice trade, dude. Good job. OGS. Casey Lewis coming with that fire, boy. Oh, man, this one's got earnings. What is that? Monday night. So Monday after the bell, be careful. You still got time, though, to manage it. 64. Looks like that one already got hit, too, dude. Did it? Yep, you already got hit on that one, too, man. Nice job. So OGS already hit. I don't know when you took these trades, but obviously you had to have taken that one a different day, probably yesterday or something. See, this is where I like those trades, entering in right on some candle breaks. Very nice. And you looks like you were stopping out pretty much right Yeah, very beautiful. And this is actually an H pattern right here. You can see that's actually getting shorted into, which doesn't happen as often. So a target on that would be a lot lower, but you already hit your shit, so who cares about that? And if we go to the weekly, that would be deep, deep retrace at upper 50s. But no, nice trade, man. You already got in and out of that one. Love it. Very nice. Microsoft can't sell off Microsoft. Bitch is just gapping up. Okay, Microsoft. Earnings, let's go to the moon. What the hell? Can't stop this market. All right. What do I want to do? I'm going to have to make. Okay, I got to wrap up here soon. Oh, yeah. Let me share, y'all, the chart I made yesterday. I don't know if it has everything on there yet. I'm still kind of going through some of the numbers and all that. I'm going to post it on the ideas page here probably later today. Definitely by the end of the week. I'm still tweaking stuff and making sure my math is correct. But hey, you're very welcome, Casey Lewis. Thank you. Appreciate the contribution there, sir. So this is DMI macro trends. I had a chart like this back in the day. I just kind of updated it really. Wanted to kind of see how it's been following through. I haven't looked at it probably in 2 or 3 years. And so brought this back out. And so you can see the green vertical lines. We talk about the DMI being over 26, considered that being the power zone. And so I marked each with the vertical green hashed lines where the weekly crossed above 26 on a closing basis, of course, and if that was indicative of any kind of trend. And as you can kind of see as you're looking around the chart where the green is, it most definitely has correlation, like a lot. And if you look, I have green boxes where there was upward price action, and the red boxes were failed moves. So then I decided, well, what if I take a lower time frame management, about a third at 3 days. I like the 3-day time frame. And we take the 3-day and we look at DMI extremes. Because what I noticed was when I was looking at the chart this week on Bitcoin, let's go back over here. Let's set it up for the 3-day. Let's go here. I noticed over here, oh crap, let me pull this up. I noticed over here we hit 42 roughly, which is funny. And I have it at about 41, 42. Close is close enough, right? And so I was like, well, this is an extreme level. I have this marked on most of my charts around the 40 area is like an extreme measurement on DMI. You usually don't see that very often. And so I was like, well, let's go back in history and kind of mark the first time that it crosses, that lower 40 area. Do we have anything that could maybe give us a clue or help give strength to the trend off of the green vertical lines, aka weekly DMI crosses above 26, which I have all the notes right here and descriptions. And then I have all the performance numbers right here too. And then a couple of little things like I took out this 8,200% move just because it's kind of an outlier. That's when no one knew about crypto at all. But whatever, I put the math in there too, just in case you want to include that down over here. Anyway, what I noticed was if you get the weekly macro trend going off of the DMI being positive, and then you get a follow-up very soon, usually within a couple of months or so, you get that 3-day signaling max, like just max bullishness of being over 40. If you get those two together, there hasn't been one instance where Bitcoin didn't continue to rally. Not one time. Pretty interesting, right? So, guess what, too? The two sell-offs, DMI never signaled. Do you see how there's no pointer fingers on the red ones? It never signaled strength. 3-day never got over 40. Or into the 40s. Interesting, right? Yeah? And a lot of times you get this pretty soon after the cross. Here's one. Here's one that's like right at the same time. Here's one that's right at the same time. And look here. Here's one right at the same time. And we talked about this too live when it happened on the stream, the DMI. We were looking for that to cross over. And we're already up 72% off of that number. All right. And so if you look right here, the pointer only, if you take the trades and you close them out on a weekly basis. So how I manage them, except for this one that says 3-day weekly management. I just use a weekly open and close below the 21 EMA. That's really standard. We talk about that all the time on the channel. So that's all I use to get out of the trade is when the weekly open and close below the 21 EMA. And I took those EMAs off. I do still have them right here, but I thought I was just like making the chart a little bit cleaner because there's already a lot of shit on it. So we don't need a couple more lines. Anyway, below the 21 EMA, these are the performance numbers, and I will double check these later. I did them a couple times last night when I was working on it, but you can see the both of them. If you get the first green and take longs there, and then you just add all the pointers, so you're long here, then you add long here, then you add long here. Your average gain was 265% over about 200 days. And you can see I only put the top part. I did total, average, and then days. So each one is in that same order. Total, average, days, total, average, days. Anyway, you could take pointers only. And look at that. They actually did really good too. 435% over, just shy of 300 days. So people might say, oh, well, that's like overbought or oversold, which I hate those stupid terms. They really set your mind up in the wrong way, I believe. If you do have strength, is what it should be called, not overbought. We've seen RSI stay above 70 for months and months and months on many tradables. So is that oversold if it goes up for a year after it gets over there? No, it's just showing strength. The important part is when they come out of the strength zone. That's when you have to start maybe wondering how strong that trend is. So just some food for thought there. And this is showing that, this is pretty serial. And I actually need to put another pointer finger on here because the last one that I did put on here was recently, at the beginning of the year. And we actually need to put one on this one, this new candle. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And it will go right there. All right. So we actually already have double fingers in the structure. Very interesting. Is this about to get moonshotty? Possibly. But I know some of these, when you zoom out, it kind of makes it look funny. But y'all get the point where it's kind of just pointing whatever to that candle right below it. I might change that and use a different. I was trying arrows or something. I don't know. Whatever. It kind of works for now. It gets my point across. So there you go. Just something kind of interesting for macro trends. And there you go. And I know everybody's like, oh, you just hodl, bro. Dude, hodling is okay. But that's more for back when this happened. It's a lot different now. Because if you hodl at the wrong times, you probably won't trade again because you're going to be sideways for freaking years and years and years. Like if you got in here, you're like, I'm just going to hodl, bro. Then you're going to go, what? 2.5 years of straight. Are you going to be able to hold that? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I like to just trade trends. That's kind of how I do it. And to each his own. We talk about it all the time. There's a million ways to skin the market cat. I've just ridden 2 of these down and lost 98% of all of my wealth twice. And I'll tell you what, that shit doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. There's no reason. You don't have to do that. You can always buy back in. Sometimes I think the hodl culture can be a little bit, how do I say it nicely, misleading, maybe. Because no one does that in any other market. There's no major fund manager that's like, oh, yeah, you just buy something, you just hold it forever, it just goes up. That just doesn't happen, man. Bitcoin's like barely over 10 years old. Markets are, centuries old. So, come on. Anyway. All right, I think that's it. Again, build this chart above 31K. It looks very sexy. I like all that stuff. Other than that, man, everything else is looking pretty damn good. I like, as far as the crypto land, and I actually am liking kind of where the indices are. Because I just nibbled some of this. We got the Fed. I'm kind of playing a little Fed drift. And it's funny that it coincides also perfectly with being way down here on the low end of these ranges. So pretty interesting. I'm going to nibble, take a little shot there. Re-enter probably on some gas because, oh, look at that. Look at that, pumped up real hard. Oh, that's nice. I'm probably going to re-enter on some nat gas and maybe some oil on some dips. Other than that, guys, much love. I'll see y'all guys on Friday morning. I hope you'll have a great hump day. Stay diligent. Plan your trade. Trade your plan. This is No Noiz. I am Z-Rex. Peace.